Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to highlight the new Steam game releases of the week. Definitely going to be a lighter week this week, as most of the attention is going to be on the impending autumn sale, the upcoming Black Friday deals, and everything of that sort. However, there's still definitely some interesting stuff coming out. A couple games I'm really excited for. We got a free game as well, and it's another one of the card battlers, so be looking forward to talking about that in a little bit, and a couple of other big titles coming this week as well. So let's get right into it, and let's start off with what I think is the biggest game release of the week, and that is coming from Flying Wild Hog and Focus Entertainment. That is Evil West. Evil West, done by Flying Wild Hog. Again, those are the guys that made the great Shadow Warrior title. Shadow Warrior 3 was a bit iffy, but Shadow Warrior 1 and 2 I thought were really solid first-person action titles. Over the top, fast-paced, and Evil West is giving me a lot of that same vibe as well. It's definitely different than Shadow Warrior, but at the same time, it has that similar vibe of being a high-octane, fast-paced title. The game notes: a dark menace consumes the Old West in solo or cooperative play. Fight with style in visceral, explosive combat against bloodthirsty monstrosities. Eradicate the vampiric hordes with your lightning-fueled gauntlet and become a Wild West superhero. And while the game is set in the Wild West, you can immediately tell just by looking at the game, it's got more of that fantasy style as well, that fantastical element going on for it on top of that, so you're going to be fighting all these wild creatures on top of that. The game notes a narrative-driven campaign, so hopefully it delivers from a story standpoint as well, and you've got a cooperative play on top of that, so you can experience the fast-paced, gory action with a friend as well. Myths and legends retold with a stylized, weird Wild West universe, evolved with perks, upgradable weapons, and tools. Explore and fight through a story-driven campaign to save America. Evil West will be hitting Steam on November 22nd for $49.99, so not super expensive. As far as performance and system requirements, nothing too crazy. Recommended is a GTX 1060 and an RX 590. 590 a bit better than the 1060, so that is interesting. And a Ryzen 5 1600 for CPU, 16 gigs of RAM recommended, which isn't all too surprising these days. Next up, we have an open-world survival title in Destera. Destera is a sci-fi-based FPS survival game where the players cooperate with and compete against each other on a destroyed Earth. I feel like this is a game that would be right up the alley of a lot of people, and at the very least, it's going to have that initial buzz on day one. Whether or not that's going to be sustainable, we'll ultimately see, but Destera is a sci-fi based survival game with particularly enhanced futuristic FPS gameplay. Along with FPS battles, you can also experience other common survival game elements such as looting, crafting, building, and team play. In the perishing Earth, players must find a way to prevent extinction while still ensuring individual survival and choose whether to cooperate or compete with other players for their survival. Explore the main facilities before anybody else does to get a hold of special skills and resources for higher tier items that can make you superior, and develop yourself and your machine arm in the sci-fi based world of Destera. Equip yourself with strong armors and weapons. Build and expand your base to feel the best sci-fi FPS experience. Game is going to be pretty difficult to run. The recommended requirements note an RTX 2070 and an RX 5700X or an i7 9700 or Ryzen 5 3600X on the CPU side of things, but the minimum requirements are pretty tame. GTX 950, i5 9400, so that's a little bit more, that's going to be a little bit more accessible. 50 gigabytes noted for available storage. Destera will be dropping on November 23rd. Next up, we have Sefirot Shards. This is a free-to-play card battler. Sefirot Shards is a deck-building game with RPG elements imbued with the spirit of classical fantasy. Build your unique deck and solve all the mysteries that Sefirot has prepared for you. A young team of indie developers, Team Game, present their first project in Sefirot Shards. We strive to make the combat interesting and moderately complex. The perfect phrase to describe it would be easy to learn, hard to master. Here, you will always have something to do. Explore the locations, collect the cards, and fight over other players. You'll get around quickly due to an intuitive interface that is familiar to all connoisseurs of the genre and also easy for newer players to understand. Obviously, a game like this is going to be super easy to run, so even if you have like an old laptop or anything like that, you'll be good to go. There is a demo available right now, and the full game will be releasing on November 25th. Next up, we have Iggy Mob and Prime Matter's Gungrave Gore. I know a lot of people are excited for this, and if you do want to check it out, it is going to be a part of Xbox Game Pass, so you won't have to drop the $49.99 if you don't want. Gungrave Gore is a stylized third-person action shooter by South Korean studio Iggy Mob, in which you take on the role of Grave, a gunslinger of resurrection and badass anti-hero of your dreams, mowing down tons of enemies in a gory ballet of bullets. This is one that that if you like over-the-top action titles, it's gonna be something you're probably gonna get into. Strap in for a wild ride, an epic and emotional story of vengeance, love, and loyalty with more than 12 hours of gameplay in the story mode for Gungrave fans and newcomers alike, and go on an epic adventure across Southeast Asia based on real-life locations with a dark, futuristic twist. The game, requirement-wise, nothing too crazy. i7-6700, GTX 1080 recommended. Minimum side of things, i7 4470K, which I'm pretty sure is a CPU that does not exist, and a GeForce GTX 1060. So, yeah. I'm going to say that should be an i5 4690K or an i7 4770K, I think was the... What is that generation? I can't even remember. Haswell, right? Yeah, 4000 was Haswell's series. So, yeah, I think that's just a misspelling there. But nonetheless, the game will be dropping on November 22nd, $49.99, but again, available through Xbox Game Pass. Next up, we have another survival title, and Climber Sky is the Limit. Climber Sky is the Limit is a unique survival and simulation game where you become a winter climber. To succeed, you need to plan the trip, prepare appropriate equipment, face extreme weather conditions, and survive. Only the sky is the limit. The game does have a demo available right now, so you can check that out, and each expedition is noted to be different, and the journey to the top is a great challenge. Conquer your fear, face your limits, and reach the summit. In order to do that, traverse dangerous trails using specialized equipment such as an ice axe and lifelines. Again, the game will be dropping on Steam November 21st. Next up, I want to give this a shout just because of how well Stray did from a sales standpoint. It seems like people like video games with cats as the main character. Cats and the Other Lives. Part interactive fiction following the passing of Bernard Mason, the patriarch of the family. All the remaining Masons return to their childhood home for one last time. As Aspen, the cat of the household, players will take a journey across the hopes, disappointment, and regrets of the enigmatic Mason family, traversing through a rich narrative that spans over decades. The game embraces a simple yet intuitive point-and-click style play, celebrating a design approach based on the behaviors of common house cats living all around the world. Seems like an interesting game. Cats and the Other Lives will be dropping on November 21st. And lastly, a co-op roguelite title, Ship of Fools, will be coming on November 22nd. Ship of Fools is a seafaring cooperative roguelite. Set sail, man the cannons, and battle sea monsters through the tempestuous seas of the archipelago. Are you fool enough to stop the aqua apocalypse? Now, this game does have a cooperative emphasis, so if you like roguelite titles and you have a friend that will play with you, that's probably how you're going to enjoy it the most. However, you can play the game solo, so you can do that, no problem. Game has more of a charming look to it. Doesn't take itself all too seriously, but I like the look of the game, and if you're a fan of roguelite, something to have on your radar as well. Coming from Team 17 and Fika Productions, Ship of Fools drops on November 22nd, and that is going to do it for me. Again, lighter week of game releases this week. That was kind of to be expected, given that, you know, autumn sale coming up, Black Friday deals, that's going to take the bulk of the attention from people this week. But still, Evil West, Destera, Sefirot Shards, you've got Gungrave Gore. There's still definitely some stuff to keep on your radar. And again, Sefirot Shards is a free-to-play title, so you can check that without dropping any cash. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.